Oddsmakers have set the Minnesota Vikings projected regular season win total at 8.5 games. Find out the smart money play next. From our Rockstar studio, this is Tony T here from Gamblers Television, covering the NFL Vegas style all season long. Minnesota is coming off an 8-8 record in 2007, and it was a year where they fell one game short of making the playoffs. It was a disappointing close of the season as the Vikings dropped their final two games and failed to make the postseason. Now, rookie running back Adrian Peterson led the NFL in rushing last season as he ran for 1,341 yards while averaging 5.6 yards per carry. The defense was stingy against the run but poor against the pass. Quarterback Tavaris Jackson, he showed some flash but really made some poor decisions throwing the football last season. Oddsmakers have set the Minnesota Vikings projected win total for the 2008 season at 8.5 wins. Let's take a look at their schedule. Minnesota has the fourth toughest schedule this season. Playing in the NFC North, it means 2 games against the Packers, Lions, and Bears. Now, the NFC North faces the AFC South and NFC South this season, and the Colts will visit Minny as well as the Texans. The Vikings have tough road games against the NFC South as they travel to New Orleans and Tampa Bay. Road games against the AFC South will be tough physical battles against Tennessee and Jacksonville. Now, as a second-place team in the NFC South last season, they faced the NFC second-place finishers, the New York Giants at home, while traveling to Arizona. The Vikings will face good defenses this year, and they're going to be in some tough physical battles. Let's take a look at their offense. Adrian Peterson had a great rookie season, and coupled with Chester Taylor, make them a 1-2 tandem that's the best in football. Taylor could be a starter in this league. Now, Peterson tore a ligament in his right knee last season and failed to rush for over 100 yards. He only averaged 2.66 per rushing attempts in his last 4 games. Now, despite being 8-4 as a starter, Tavaris Jackson will need to improve upon his 8 TDs and 12 interception performance from a year ago. Look, there's no doubt the Vikings will be facing much better rushing defenses this year, so Tavaris Jackson will need to make plays in the passing game for the Vikings to improve on their 8-8 season. Now, wide receiver Bernard Berrien will help the vertical passing game, and he was acquired through free agency. It'll be difficult to stack the box against the Vikings with this deep threat now in the repertoire. Bobby Wade gives the Vikings good work lining up as a slot receiver. He led the team with 54 receptions last season. Let's take a look at their defense. The Minnesota defense was number 1 against the run in 2007, getting up just an average of 72 yards per game and only 3.1 yards per game. Look, the Vikings addressed a weakness in their pass rush by acquiring Jared Allen from the Kansas City Chiefs. They were last in pass defense last season, so there's an improvement. Also, hoping to improve in their passing defense, the Vikings spent big bucks on Madu Williams, who's a solid coverage safety. Defensive linemen Kevin Williams and Pat Williams are huge contributors against the run. Look, the defense remains solid, but the offense may force them on the field a little more in 2008. And now to my selection. If Minnesota played this schedule last year, they would be a 6-10 team instead of the 8-8 team from last year. They also caught a break. They played the Chargers with the first-year quarterback making his first start on the road in the Dome. And don't forget, when defensive lineman Luis Castillo went down early in the game and left, it changed the whole complexion of that Charger game. Look, Minnesota does not beat San Diego with Luis Castillo in the lineup in the second half. The Vikings have had problems scoring against Green Bay. The Vikes have only put up 40 points in their last 4 games against the Pack, and they're 0-4 under the Mike McCarthy era in Green Bay. The Vikings also have 3 series of back-to-back road games with New Orleans, Jacksonville, and Arizona on the back end of those. Look, I am not convinced that Tavaris Jackson can get his team to 9 wins against this schedule. Jacksonville, Tennessee, Indy, Tampa, and Green Bay all possess good defenses, and you cannot be one-dimensional against them. The road schedule is brutal, playing Minnesota under 8.5 wins for the 2008 regular season. From our Rockstar studio, this is Tony T reminding you to visit and bookmark my television show page at www.gamblerstelevision.com for continuous play spread coverage from the NFL. Gamblers Television, get addicted.